Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sorrowful here, and today we're going to be talking about what my dream class would be in MapleStory. Alright guys, so before we get started, please let me know in the comment section right below that like button what your dream class would be in MapleStory, and feel free to list off a few of the skills and whatever you want. I'm always interested in what you guys have to say, and this is a really fun topic, so by all means, feel free. And with that being said, guys, keep in mind that I just threw all of this together within an hour or so there's no skill percentages, there's nothing super in-depth. It's just a rough sketch of what my dream class would be if MapleStory were to create a dream perfect class for me. So try not to consider so much if the class is overpowered or not, because again, it's not necessarily realistic, but at the same time, I did try to keep it with the theme that MapleStory has, and I tried to keep things in a reasonable boundary. So let's get it started. So my dream class, my perfect class that MapleStory could create that'd be perfect for me, would be called the Demon Archer. Now I know, so original, whatever, I get it, but I could probably think of something better. But again, I really put this together real quick because I don't want it to be something that takes so long, because it's not something that's ever gonna come, true, that's ever gonna happen. So wanted to make it just keep it simple and fun. So it'd be called the Demon Archer. I know it has the same abbreviation as Demon Avenger. People would be calling it DA. And that's a problem that I did have. I don't like that, but whatever. Again, it's not going to happen. So it's going to be a demon class, right? Similar to Demon Slayer and Demon Avenger. It's going to be a fallen hero, because you know how there's heroes in MapleStory, like the 5 heroes of Maple, and including Shade, the forgotten hero. So this one is going to be actually a fallen hero. So it's going to be one of the first heroes of MapleStory, but succumbed to the darkness within, thus following a different path to remain as a neutral entity, because it didn't have that pure heart, the pure spirit that the 5 or 6 heroes of Maple had, and instead had a little bit of darkness. So went its own way to just follow a different neutral path. Okay, and so it's going to be a fallen hero, and it's going to be from a new area called Underground. It's going to be a new area deep inside Sleepywood, and it's supposed to be made to be somewhat the opposite of LNL, because LNL is where Mercedes are from, and it's like the whole fairy goddess forest, whatever. And this place is supposed to be underground, somewhere deep in Sleepywood. How awesome would that be to have a starting area in Sleepywood? That sounds pretty dope to me. Alright, so their secondary weapon would be called the Demon Quiver, and secondary weapon, just to, clarify, is what all classes have. For Cygnus Knights, it's called the Irreverence. So Demon Archer Zone would be called the Demon Quiver. This class would be a very fast attacking DPS class with exceptional mobility, including fluid jumping capabilities, while being exceptionally frail. So pretty much following the same line that all the other archers do in MapleStory, because I wanted it to be this way and it just feels right. Okay, so the Demon Archer class would have a new system called Demon Rage. It will be unlocked at 3rd job and later enhanced at 4th job. It will be a system similar to Buccaneers and their transformation in the sense that once their Demon Rage meter is full, they can toggle their demon form, which will grant them various buffs and transform some of their signature skills. While in demon form, their Demon Rage meter will decay by 1 point per second from a total of 30 points. So technically their demon form will last 30 seconds, and their Demon Rage meter will take a total of 90 seconds to fill up again. Okay, so because the class will be extremely frail innately, transforming into demon form, okay, so when they're in demon form and they have the upgraded demon form from 4th job, their demon form will provide them with these buffs. They will take 70% reduced damage from all sources. They will gain 100% stance. They will also gain 30% of normal status resistance, as well as 25% attack, defense, magic defense, HP, and MP. So that's their whole demon transformation system. Their main mobbing skills would be Arrow Rain, where they shoot into the air and watch as many red arrows fly down on both sides of the character, as well as Demon Pierce, which would be a demonic piercing arrow that goes through mobs in a linear fashion, similar to Marksman's Pierce skill, except it works differently and looks similar to Varus's Q from League of Legends. So if you guys know Varus from League of Legends, his piercing arrow, his Q ability, it'll look something like that, but in MapleStory form, and it just go linear. So that makes up for their 2 great mobbing abilities that they would need, you know, in all kinds of training areas. So I feel like that's pretty awesome. They would also have a skill called Demon Clone, which works just like Shadow Partner in every way. So it doubles all the amount of hits that their skills do. And yeah, it's pretty much it, Demon Clone. Okay, so now their main 1v1 attacking skill would be called Demon's Mercy, and it would work like a typical Bowman Hurricane ability, but with a darker, cooler looking animation. This skill would only deal 1 line of damage, but obviously it'd deal 2 lines of damage with Demon Clone. So it's just a typical dark version of like Hurricane. However, it'd be really cool if Demon Transformation made this skill work in a slightly different way, as if like it gave it more power or something. Like when you're in demon form, it gains extra % damage. So that'd be cool. It'd give it like maybe 30% boss or something, I don't know. But it'd just be cool if it worked like that. Again, I could make this full out and have it actually be legit, but there's no real point in doing that. Okay, so their level 150 hyper skill would be called Dark Matter, and it'll work almost exactly the same as Wind Archer's level 150 hyper skill. So it'd be like a final attack skill, and this skill would be the Demon Archer class's only form of final attack. So they're going to have a 2-line Hurricane with this as their final attack ability. Okay, so their level 170 hyper skill would be called Relentless Demons, and it would have demons fly out of the character, ambushing the entire map with purplish reddish arrows falling down on the screen. This skill would also leave the background in a similar way that the Nightwalker's 170 hyper skill does, and this skill would only be able to be used during demon transformation, but will sacrifice or cost 10 points from your demon rage meter after use. However, if you use the skill while you have less than 10 points left, your demon transformation state will instead conclude. Okay, so obviously to have a little bit of, you know, interesting gameplay in there, if you wanted, when you only have 1 point left of your demon rage meter, you could go ahead and use this bad boy right before your demon rage meter was about to conclude anyway, so just to get that little extra huge burst off. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. And the final thing I have down for the class is it would also have a 4th job skill called Underground Lockdown. Again, they're from Underground, so I think this would be a fitting name. Underground Lockdown, which would involve your character shooting a dark arrow into the ground directly in front of them, which makes demons come from under the ground to bind enemies in the direction the skill was used. The animation would have demons holding bound enemies in place and would look extremely badass. I'm pretty sure you cannot deny that. So those are all the skills that I have. You know, I just quickly thought of them, and you know, obviously when you're making a class for yourself, you'd want it to have everything. So again, just take it as, you know, a fun topic, nothing too serious, okay? I don't want to hear any "that's so OP, that's so broken," because whether or not it is, we'll never really know, because there's no percentages involved, right? So like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, let me know what you guys' perfect class would be. Yeah, and I'm always willing to read what you guys have to say, and it's always fun talking with you guys. So that's all for this time, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable. See y'all later. Hey, you made it to the end, and for that, you're awesome. While you're here, feel free to hit that like button if you enjoyed what you just watched, and click one of these videos to be taken to one of my favorite, most recent uploads. Peace.